What it is, what it do. It's Big Mo,
It's Kels, baby.
and this is the Big Mo podcast. We've been waiting for this for a long time, Kels.
Waiting for a very long time.
Yeah, it didn't happen 2020, but it's happening in 2021. We we
as,
we
as
gotta
long as it's happening.
Yep, we gotta get this ball rolling. We no better time than now. 2020 showed us a lot and showed us that we need to take advantage of life because we never know what could happen the next day, right? So
Yep, tomorrow's never
this
promised, man.
this podcast is strictly everything. It will be about movies. It will be about TV. It'll be definitely about gaming as well, since we're really big gamers. It will be about sports, especially when it comes to baseball and our teams play. I'm a Yankee fan, as you can see, and
This
Kels,
guy's a Mets fan.
he's a Met fan, so crosstown rivals. So we're gonna be
Crosstown
talking smack.
rivals, Subway Series.
So we're gonna be talking smack. But yeah, also like I said, movies, TV, sports, gaming, sometimes regular life shit, stuff that happens. Maybe something happened really big and me or Kel's like week, and we'll talk about it. We don't know how long, how many times we're gonna do it. If we're gonna do it weekly, bi-weekly, or whatever. But we definitely gonna be doing this, and I can't wait to bring it out to the world. So um well, let's start off with some things about 2020, because 2020 was a shit year, right, Kels?
It was a it was a crazy year, man. Let
I,
me tell you,
I,
from January from the start, man. Since Kobe's death, and
oh yeah,
it just
man,
went it just went downhill after that. It was
yeah.
just
Since Kobe's death, it was
chaos.
just pure shit. But as much as 2020 was bad, we don't want to talk about the bad stuff in 2020 anymore. We want to talk about like some of the good things that happened in 2020, either movie
Right.
wise, TV wise, music wise, because we love music. We always argue. We got different opinions on certain things. We're alike. We like a lot of things, so we like a lot of the same stuff. But when we don't like the same stuff, we go at it, right, Kels?
Yeah, that's right, man. Any
Like,
topic is gonna always gonna clash with two people, no matter what.
yep. No matter how much we are like in a lot of things. We have a lot of similarities. That's why this is my bro. Like, we're best friends. It's more like brothers at this point. We knew each other for how long? Since like fucking
This is like 4 years old,
it's
3 years
like
old, man.
diapers, bro. We knew each other since diapers. Like, that's the thing that these people won't understand. We know each other for a very long time, and that's gonna show in this podcast.
Yeah,
We're
man.
trying to be organic here. Just ourselves.
Just ourselves. That's what it is, shouty.
That's what it is. So, well, Kels, what was some of like your high points? I know, of course, a lot of low points this year, but what were some high points in 2020 for you? Anything like music wise, TV, anything that you can think of.
The high points of 2020. Is it in general with the population of
Okay,
like
let's
being a like celebrity, or is in general as in speaking in within yourself or about yourself?
start with yourself. Like, some things that happened to you personally this year that that you take from from last year. I mean, that you take from last year and really say, oh, I did a bunch of good things, and it wasn't so bad. Like, I overcame the drama of 2020, came out with a lot of good stuff. So what are some like things that happened to you personally?
I guess I would say just first and foremost for everybody, it's a wonderful time to be alive, no
Yep.
matter what. Whether it's 2020 or 2021 or 2022, it's just a good time to be alive because there was a lot of deaths in 2020, a lot of hospitalizations,
Yeah.
a lot of deaths. A lot of sickness, a lot of tragic moments.
Yep.
So
A lot of
That's a very,
celebrity,
yeah, a
unfortunate
lot of
celebrity passings. You
unfortunate
know.
celebrity passings. Just people passing in general. The world
Yeah.
as we know it is no longer the same.
Yep. People, we're scared to go. We go outside with a mask. We see somebody without a mask. We trip. We like,
Yeah.
yo, go across the street. That be me. Today I was walking in my neighborhood and everything because one thing that good that happened to me, I'll say it now. Like my family bought a house in Orlando. So right before everything hit in like March, we got a house in Orlando. So that was a great thing to have that helped me work through 2020. That helped me think positive about 2020 because I was like I spent we got it like in March. We didn't get to go to the house because the pandemic hit, so we were in New York. We didn't get to go to like I think it was like May, I want to say, in May, end of May, and then we just stood there for the rest of like the summer, and it was just great. But like long story short, when I was trying to get to before, like it's crazy how we go outside now, and I'm walking in the neighborhood, and you see people without a mask, or you don't have a mask on right now because you're in the community, so there's not a lot of people walking. But once you see people and you're like, yo, I gotta go across the street. Like this never happens. Like I'm not this type of person, but now I'm like paranoid to be around people, and that's what sucks. That's
Yep.
that's the sucky part. But
Yep.
um, yeah. What else, Kels? What else, Kels? Like,
Oh well. All right. So we like a good thing that happened with me is that I'm more closer to getting out of debt. This well from 2020. It's a good start.
yeah.
I got my first initial like a first I actually own a car now. I don't have no more leasing it. I actually own a vehicle.
Oh, great, great.
So
I didn't even know that, to be honest. You see, some
yeah,
things we don't know
yeah.
about each other.
I, I actually own a car now.
That's
Even
popping.
though it was even though it was hit at the end of 2020, but it's still it's still owned.
Yeah,
It's my car, I have the title for it, so all
yeah.
I gotta do is just pay it off, and that's it. It's steps and goals that I have achieved in 2020 that overcame a lot of downtime, a lot of downfall.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of
And
like us, like a lot of depressing news out there, but those things
yeah,
kept us like in check. Another thing that kept us in check was me and Cal's been talking about this podcast for what, like since probably like June.
yeah,
So we've been already planning for this. So this kept us in our minds, like, yo, we got to do this. Like, we we could have done it already, but like a lot of procrastination. 2020 was depressing, so sometimes we didn't feel like doing anything. But that kept us going all the time. We'll be like, "Yo, we got to do this podcast. Like, we got to do
yeah,
this, man. Anyway we can, we have to. And that's what kept me motivated to like get to 2021. Like, and I had some 2020 wasn't as bad for me, like on a personal level, until it was like Christmas, because unfortunately, like Kels, like the suicide of my cousin.
right,
So like it wasn't until then when I really like put it everything came into perspective for me, and I was like, you know what, in 2021, I'm taking 2021 by the balls, and I'm just gonna do me and do what I gotta do and try to be successful anywhere I can. Like, cause honestly, in my job, I enjoy my job sometimes, but it's not my passion and it's not something I like to do, like that I see myself doing for the rest of my life. Like
right,
talking to people and doing stuff like this, like to be honest, before I got on this right now, I text Kels. I was nervous. I'm nervous. I'm cause you never know what can happen. You're always scared to like you're not. I'm not scared to do it. I'm very happy to do it. I can't wait to do it. I couldn't wait to get on the podcast, but you always have those nerves. It's like those nerves before you get on an airplane. Before you get on an airplane, like you're not
right.
scared of the flight. You just like you never know what can happen.
You never know what could happen.
So I'm just glad we're taking this next step. And 2020, let's see what else good happened in 2020 that I gotta say. Well, in terms of like uh personal level, I think that was really it. Like personally, I that's it. That's it personally that I could think of, like in a personal level, you know. So let's go. We always talk about music. That is our thing,
Right.
and that is our constant thing that we talk about. And if it's not music, it's usually game. But we're gonna talk about music today, and we're gonna talk about we're Latinos, all right? I'm Puerto Rican. Kels is what?
Puerto Rican, Dominican, man.
The best of
The
both worlds. So you got the
best
body
of both
and the
worlds.
and the Dominican connection
You
right
got
here.
the con and you got the pegado.
Yep, it's pegado. It's pegado, brother. Don't even try it, papa. You already know it's pegado. Con, no, eso no existe.
Con mierda, es pegado, puñeta.
But yeah, no, so we're very big into like Spanish music. Like we love that shit. We grew up with that shit since the 90s. Like
It's in the blood,
it's
man.
in the blood, bro. Like I bleed salsa and merengue, bachata, reggaeton. I bleed all that, you know. So one of the biggest artists this year is Bad Bunny.
Give it up to Bad Bunny.
Yep, Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny put out three albums.
Three albums.
Nobody does that really anymore. Nobody puts out 3 albums in 1 year. And the fact that all 3 albums were pretty damn good goes to show you that this guy is on another level, and he's basically the face of reggaeton right now, and what I like to call him the Drake of reggaeton. Like he's the Drake. He could do anything at this
He
point.
works his ass off, man.
Yeah, like his creativity is insane. Like what do you think about Bad Bunny, bro? Because I know we go back and forth about it. Like sometimes you like certain of the songs. Me, I don't know why. Like whenever I'm a fan of an artist, I don't know if I put blinders on, but I like every freaking song of Bad Bunny. There's like probably like 1 or 2 that I can say like that's okay. But what do you think about Bad Bunny?
I think Bad Bunny, I think he's become very mature over the times within all the years. Because when he first came out, he was very out there, like very like I'll say this, he's out there now, but I feel like it's a different perspective from what he used to be to what he is now, and it's more like back then he was out there as in he just didn't care what he would say. He wouldn't he wouldn't watch his mouth very fondly and stuff like that. So he'll just throw out lyrics, and he doesn't matter if it offends or not. Now he's more, he thinks about what he says before he says it.
And he will still say like, because I think what you're getting at, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, what you're getting at, he was more like very more explicit in the beginning than he is now. Because now I feel like he appeals more to a wider audience, because like even people that don't even listen to Spanish music know who Bad Bunny is. Like you look on YouTube, there are so many reactions to Bad Bunny that are not Hispanic people. Like and that's the reach he has. He grabs a lot of people, he commands attention. Like in that Yo Perreo Sola video, like he basically he did that like dressing up as a woman and everything, but he did it in honor of I forgot the name, sorry, of the transgender woman that got killed in Puerto Rico. You know, so he was doing that for her, you know, and or him or her. I'm sorry, like I get very confused with those things. So if you want to correct me in the comments, go ahead, please. But yeah, so he's very in tune to social issues as well. He's very in tune into the community, and he knows what people like. And the thing also that I love about him, he's experimental. He's not scared to try different things when it comes to his music. Like when you listen to his music, it's like one song could be straight up reggaeton, classic de lo fucking 2004 and shit like that, like 2005.
the drywall, the
the,
walls are sweating.
the car, the and the parties and the walls. You stand by the wall, right there. That's the type of vibe he brings. And then in other ones that he's singing basically like R&B shit, like Drake. And then the next thing he's going rockero and he's doing like a rock type punk rock beat. And it's like, yo, like
He's like so many characters in one, man.
yeah, he knows how to mesh it well. Like he knows how to blend those sounds together because and I think in the last one El Último Tour de what was it called? El Último Tour de Hold up, I'm gonna look at it now. Hold up. It's El Último Tour del Mundo, I think, something like that, right?
El Mundo.
Yeah, El Último Tour del Mundo, right? That was his latest album. Like he had a song Yo Visto Así, right? And it started off very, very rock. And then it really blends in with the hip hop comes with the beat drop. Bang, and then it switches up and you're like, holy shit, how does he do this? Like, and he does it so seamlessly where it's not like, oh, that was a weird choice. Like it just you don't even feel it when you listen to it, you know?
He's that great. He knows how to bring you in when the music starts.
Yep.
He knows how to bring you in, and he knows how to keep you listening. And
Yep.
that's the good thing about him. The albums he put out in 2020 were really good albums, and
Yep.
he's a workaholic. He's just like I guess like Drake. Yeah, he's just like Drake.
I feel like
put out material.
Yeah, put out material. He might even be a harder worker than Drake for if in 2020 wise because he put out like I haven't seen somebody put out 3 albums in a year since like I don't even remember.
It
could be like
97.
It could be like
I think DMX was the last person to do something like that.
They probably put like 2. I think he put 2 albums. DMX on like
DMX,
3 albums.
yeah.
It hasn't been like honestly to like the 70s. Like I was just watching the Bee Gees on documentary on HBO, which is a good. If anybody likes the Bee Gees or likes music and documentaries in general, I suggest you go watch the Bee Gees documentary on HBO. It's really good. But in that and in the documentary they were saying I forgot what year it was, they put like 4 albums out. 4 albums out, and it's like you heard that more back. You heard that more back in the days because they used to just stay in the studio and like just straight work because the studios will want them to crank out money for them. That's the problem. That's the thing. They wanted to crank out a lot of money. Boom, 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 boom. Give me this. Give me that. Give me this. So they end up cranking out like over 100 songs. They had to put it like into 4 albums.
Yeah,
it was crazy. But another thing, like I wished that 2020 wasn't the way it was because if the streets were open and Zafaera was out there, papa, bro. Anybody, if you don't know what I'm talking about, us Latinos definitely know. Go to Bad Bunny's Yo Hago Lo Que Me Da La Gana, his first album of 2020, and go to the song Zafaera. That would have had the streets going nuts. It had it in Puerto Rico before the lockdown. Like they were going crazy in the street, right, Kel?
Yeah.
They were going crazy in the streets.
All the music, all the good reggaeton music like that comes out in Puerto Rico first.
Yeah, yep. So I was hoping and praying because that's one thing me and Kels like to do. We like to go out, have fun and like a lot of people do. But with, like, especially me, I get on the dance floor and it's game over, papa.
This guy does cartwheels and stuff, man.
Yo, I put that video out. It's somewhere out there. It's somewhere on my Instagram. I have it too in my camera roll. I'll put that shit right on Twitter right now.
But the Zafarera, I guess if it wasn't the way that it was for 2020, people would have been outside. Especially us Puerto Ricans.
Yeah,
we would have been outside.
Yep.
Summertime.
Oh man,
summertime with the cars blasting music and block parties and it would have been like crazy.
Yep, summertime New York.
Crazy.
I'm sorry. Nobody, and this is gonna be us New Yorkers being cocky, but nobody can mess with New York when it comes
in
to
the
the
summer.
summertime and the summertime scene. Like I know other places are probably nicer, like LA, is more laid back, it's cool and chill. But when you want to go out and you want to party in New York, the party doesn't stop. It does not stop. It could be freaking 6 o'clock in the morning. Everything's still open. Like the clubs close at like 4:30, like almost 5 o'clock in the morning down here. Like
Yeah.
it's a whole nother animal. So like when we used to go out, we would come back man late, like and be dead tired when we get home. But like another places, everything closes at like 2. Like I know some of my friends in California, like everything closes at like 2.
Oh
I'm like,
wow, that's like
bro, that's when the party starts for here
that's when the
for us.
party starts.
We pre-gaming at like 12 and 1, and then we go out at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
But unfortunately for me, man, my age is catching up. I
Oh
can't even
my
do it
god.
no more, man.
This dude, he's part of the 30 club
The
ahora.
30 club, man. That's it.
I still got 3 more years. I'm good. I'm still young. I'm still young. I'm still young. But yeah, no, that Zafaera would have had the streets on lock. On lock. There would have been like if that song would have came out in the lounges and the clubs. Oh my lord.
Is that the people don't understand? Is the people don't understand that that song had the feel of such an old school reggaeton song, like at least a 2004, 2005 reggaeton song. It
Yep.
just made you feel like you were back in time, and it was just, and it's just it was a crazy song. It was like 3 beats in one,
Yeah, no, it was.
and
I just recently heard it again because I haven't heard it since like probably like July, like not even July, like I would say August, like around August, and there's literally like I think like 5 beat changes, bro. 5 beat changes. You know what's that? Like, and each one just sounds like a different club banger. Like, you could just clip out each one of those beat changes and have like our own little section in the party to throw that on, and
Mhm.
again everybody will go crazy. Like, this is what Bad Bunny makes great music. And he makes music for everyone. He makes music for the club. He makes music for the girls. He makes music for the guys like me who get heartbroken. He makes music for everybody,
Yeah.
and that's the key. That's the key to me with a great artist is somebody that could appeal a whole bunch of demographics. That's what I like in an artist. That's why I like Drake, because Drake, and that's why I told you Drake is my favorite artist for that reason. I feel like he's so versatile that you can't put him in a box. You can't put Drake in a box. Because as soon as you try to put him in a box, he'll pop out and jump in somewhere else and do some other shit.
Yeah,
But
he
that's
would
just
just
me
jump on. He
personally.
would just go and jump on a reggaeton track with Bad Bunny, and it just,
Uh,
it was just.
Funny. It's funny because when Bad Bunny came out, and I was like, "Yo, this dude is like really good. Like all he needs is a song with Drake." And the first time when he puts a song with Drake at the end, and I'm like, I was going crazy. I was telling Kels like, "Yo, this is insane. My 2 favorite artists right now on the track," and it was like another banger that the people had that shit all summer.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
album didn't even come in the summer, right? The album came out
It
in
came out late
in December.
2018, late
Twen-
2018,
Yeah, because it came out around. If I'm not mistaken, it came out around Noche Buena, like the Christmas Eve, right?
something like that. Yeah,
Something like that. But the single came out earlier, so the single was out before the album, so people were already bumping that like before the album came out. So yeah, Bad Bunny had the last 3 years has just been untouchable
yep.
at this point when it comes to the Latino community and in general worldwide because Dakiti was like #1 worldwide like for like weeks
Yep.
of his new album. Like it's just insane. It's
Who do
insane.
you think? Who do you think is the next up and comer for reggaeton?
Ooh, there's a lot of good. I feel I don't know. I feel like reggaeton has been on a surge this last like 2 years. Like there's so many good artists out there. They got Mike Towers who's good.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jay
Brigado.
Cortez is good. Jay Balvin is always good. Um you had Anuel, but Anuel is supposedly retired. That's not gonna last too long. What do you think about that situation? He said he's retired and he's not doing any music anymore.
Anuel hasn't really. He only came out with one album?
He came out he had a mixtape and then he came out with the one out. I think he came out. Hold up, I think he came out with an album before that. He came out. Let me see. Anuel doble A. Real hasta la muerte. Oíste, cabrón. Okay, he has a lot of band. He had Real hasta la muerte. I don't know if that was technically an album. I think that was his first album.
Yeah, that was the album.
That was the album, and then the one he just put out in 2020 was Emmanuel. He put that one out, and then he just recently was talking in an interview and saying that he's done with music or whatever, which I doubt it. But
I just feel like with Anuel, he's not a single artist. Like he doesn't know how to make hits. He's more better. He's more better when he's featured on someone's song.
Yeah, or if he has a lot of features on his song, because those are his songs, but all his best songs to me have a feature on.
Have a feature, yep.
Like and that's one thing. Like when people come with the argument of that Anuel is better than Bad Bunny, I stop them real quick because I'm like, tell me how many Anuel songs by himself are hits. Not because you like him, because I like a lot of Anuel songs that just him by himself, but that are hits that a lot of people like.
I can't name one, to be honest with you.
That's him by himself. Because you got ones that he's with people like freaking China, which came out. That shit was a banger, and a bunch of other songs. You know, songs with Karol G and everything. But
songs with 6ix9ine.
Rata, the rat and shit. Oh man, don't even get me started with 6ix9ine. Listen. I'm gonna be honest here. I bumped his music. And I had no shame. Listen, the boy can't rap. He can't rap for shit.
He can't rap.
I rap better than him. And I could rap though. The Kels knows we could rap better than him. But like his music was catchy. That's what it was with 6ix9ine.
It was just loud.
His music was loud and it was so New York. No matter what you call him. Around it was so New York. It was a New York sound, right? And he took over the streets. If it wasn't for his stupid ass shit that he was doing and going with the wrong crowd and trying to act like he's a gangster when he wasn't a gangster, he would have been successful. But like in the documentary, did you watch the documentary?
I did watch the documentary.
Like he was all about being out there, being loud on purpose.
All he wanted was to be famous. That's all he wanted.
All he wanted.
He didn't care. He didn't care if his music was popping or not.
Yeah.
All he wanted was to be famous.
Yeah.
And now that he got the fame, I guess he doesn't know how to control it because he's hanging out with the wrong people, doing the wrong things, which is getting him messed up. And now, since his album didn't sell so well, now he's looking like, what else do I have left to do? I have nothing left.
Yeah, because listen, his numbers, like when he first got out of jail, like he was like what? He was the highest viewed live IG live video and highest YouTube. Like you would think that's gonna translate to people going to get like his album, right? And that didn't translate at all. At all. Like nobody went to get that shit because of all his drama before. Because people want to see the drama, but when it comes to like actually consuming his music, they're like, nah, we don't want that shit.
We don't want it.
And it's sad because listen, like he can't rap, but his songs be fun. But try to play that shit in New York loud in a car.
They'll be looking at you crazy. They be like, looking at you, this guy?
Like you are nuts, bro. That's like you listening to R. Kelly right now on live, like on blast. Like, and listen, I'm gonna be right here and I'm gonna say it first. Listen, R. Kelly's a piece of shit, but his music will live on forever. His music
is my song.
Good, man. It's hard. Like I grew up with that. You know how hard it is to. Like, I haven't listened to R. Kelly in a long time, but it's something like if he were to come on now, I can't skip it. Like especially if it's like "Step in the Name of Love" or like freaking like a whole like he Ignition. But now the problem is when you hear these songs, you start thinking and you're like, damn, that lyric sounds mad wrong now. Like now it just like it gives you a whole nother like different perspective on the lyrics, and you're like, damn, that sounds so wrong. Like it seems like you're ready.
The difference between 6ix9ine and R. Kelly is that 6ix9ine made songs that just went to number one.
Yeah.
R. Kelly made songs that are classic.
Yep.
That's the complete difference
Yep.
between the both.
Yep.
And R.
Exactly.
Kelly made songs. R. Kelly made songs with classic artists.
Yep.
Biggie,
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z,
Wisin Yandel.
Wisin Yandel. I think he's had a song with Nas.
I think so too.
I think so. He's had music with
So many artists, bro.
So many artists.
So many artists. So it's like, and
so
that's
many-
in our ingrained in
classic
our childhood too. Like I've listened to R. Kelly ever since I was young. You know, it's a shame that like he has to be such a piece of shit. That is like now is like even though you still listen to his music, it's not the same because while you listening to it, you're thinking about other shit. You're like, damn, that sounds so wrong. Like, especially certain songs. Like, not all of his songs, but certain songs are just like, I can't listen to it no more because it has a different meaning behind that shit. Like,
right.
But yeah, so music was pretty. There was a lot of good albums this year, and
There was
I
a
think
lot of music in 2020.
a lot of good music in general. But one of our best album, one of our favorite albums of the year, and what we consider maybe probably the best album of 2020, Eminem's "Music to Be Murdered
Music to
By."
be murdered by. Let's give a
Deluxe
shout out to Eminem.
version.
Shout out to Eminem.
Shout out to Eminem.
Shout out to
Listen,
Eminem.
I got a lot of
been doing
heat
it since '99, man.
Yo, oh yeah. Listen, I got some heat. Like Darius, if you're watching, which I know you say you're gonna watch. If you watch it, you watch it. I remember I texted you and you were like, and I was like, yo, Eminem's album might be the best. We're gonna do the podcast on like Eminem's album, and we think it's the best of 2020. He was like, that's a hot take. And I was like, wait, what? He was like, I'd rather listen to a whole bunch of other albums than the Eminem album. And I was like, interesting. That makes me want to talk about the M album even more now because I feel like Eminem gets like the shit end of the stick lately. I don't know what is it. Like I feel like especially after like Recovery, everybody came back to loving him. But I feel like ever since Revival, people been really shitting on him now. Like even when he comes out with something good, they just like, he sucks, and they try to dismiss him with the whole, which is
He's
so
white.
stupid that he's white.
He's
Bro,
white.
that makes no sense to me. If you can spit, you can spit. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, Hispanic, Indian, Native American, anything, Asian. If you can spit, you can spit. And Eminem is probably one of the best spitters, one of the best MCs ever, especially with his word. Definitely wordplay. He's the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Nobody's messing with him wordplay wise. This dude can make anything rhyme together.
This guy is like he's like a human dictionary, man.
Seriously, and I think that's what turns some people off, like especially like friends that I talk about from the black community. Like I can't speak for them or for all of them, but friends that I know, they say like sometimes they just don't connect with M, and then that's the reason why they never have him like on the top 10, or they never like, yo, throw that Eminem on and everything. Me, I see it partially, so I don't see it like oh, I don't relate to him. Like I just look at the bars and he can spit. Like, of course, not all Eminem songs are good. Like Eminem got a lot of shitty songs. Revival, the whole album, but like Kels, what do you think? Like, what do you think?
I think okay, the album. Well, I'm gonna before I speak on the album, I'm gonna speak on Eminem.
Yeah, go ahead.
The problem with people in Eminem is that people gravitate more towards other artists. The people gravitate
It's all good.
people gravitate more to other artists because they're not trying to listen to Eminem because they feel like Eminem, the way he raps and his stories is very goofy.
Yeah.
And a lot of his syllables and metaphors, they don't understand. That's one.
Yeah.
Two, I feel like, yeah, like I said, they feel like he's just like a clown rapper.
Yeah, and he just makes because a lot of times like he's very out there with his rhymes, so it'll be some weird shit. You're like, the hell you rhyming? But then when you look into the wordplay of it and you see what the metaphors behind, and you're like, holy shit! That's one thing with M. I never catch anything he says the first go through. Like I have to listen to the song like about like 5-6 times to eventually catch like anything. And I still, even after that, I still like miss things. Like he's so good at the chaotic. I think that's the word with M. He's very chaotic in his rhymes, but he makes like I just it's hard to describe M when it comes to hip hop.
Yeah.
Cause he's so
Mhm.
unique in my opinion. Like there's nobody like M. Like there's a whole bunch of imitators. There's a whole bunch of white boys that try to be like M, but there will never be another M.
Like MGK.
Oh, yeah, he got swatted like a gnat. He yo Eminem. Listen, and that this wasn't even that good by Eminem, and that this made freaking MGK become a punk rocker. Which
Yeah,
which
he's not even rapping anymore.
which I'm not gonna lie, that freaking punk rock album from MGK is probably the best work he's ever done. Like no shit. Hear it, bro.
Hey,
Hear it.
I haven't heard it, but
Bro, I heard it like when it first. I was like, "Oh, well, what the hell? A punk rock album from MGK?" And I was hearing that. I was like, "Yo, this fits right up his alley." Like, why didn't he do this a long time ago? I feel like he would have broke out better with this type of music than he would with his rap music. You know, like
yeah.
so much better to me, honestly. So M. So we talking about because Music to Be Murdered by Side A was just already a beast. You know, it was
I
already
feel
a
like
great album.
all right. So with the album, I feel like with side A, it was more political.
Yes,
He spoke about
at one point, yeah, a few more
yeah.
songs were more political than it was in Side B.
He stuck to side A. He stuck a lot to his back to he with this album. He went a little bit back to his roots.
Yeah,
I can say with
I do feel like that.
side A, he had a lot of songs like Stepdad.
Oh,
He had a song with Stepdad that he was like, I hate my stepdad, and
yeah,
I guess he's talking about like his father, his
yeah,
past again. He's going back to reminiscing on his past.
yep.
And he has that song with Alone,
Oh,
Darkness.
Darkness. That's
And
that's the honestly, objectively, that's to me is the best song on the album, story wise, and then especially with the music video, it adds so much to the song when you realize because in when you watch the video, when you listen to the song at first, you only like you get at the end that it's about the Las Vegas shooter, and
yes,
like the whole time all the way through, you're thinking it's about him going on stage but when you get to the end, you realize, holy shit, it's about the Las Vegas shooter. But in the video, it adds so much layers because it shows you the imagery of what he's talking about, what he's rapping about, and it's like it blew my mind. Like that's
yeah,
one of my favorite videos of this year, of
it's
last year. I mean,
genius. It's genius.
it's genius. It's one of the best hip hop songs of this year. Like in my opinion, like it's that good.
And he's not even only talking about the Las Vegas shooter. He's talking about basically every
Every mass shoot.
suicidal shooter, everybody, yeah, every like active shooter
Yeah,
that has come out with all these years. That's basically what he's like speaking through their mindset and
yep,
their mentality and what they go through.
yep. And he's
And
also and
listen,
he go ahead, go ahead.
no, I'm just listen for everybody that's out there with Eminem speaking into suicidal stuff. I got Big Mo that recently he just had someone very close to him that
Yeah.
passed away with suicidal.
Yeah.
So listen, guys,
Suicide. Yeah.
reach out to everybody, anybody that you know that might feel down.
Yeah.
You know, it's not fun. It's not funny to be alone. It's not cool. So if you can, anybody take some time and reach out to somebody, please do.
Yep. If I
Whether
if
it's
I
a text,
can, if I can, I'll leave a description down below on the video and for the hotline and the suicide prevention hotline.
right?
I think it's Lifeline now. And if I can, I don't know if I'm new at this podcasting thing, but if I can, I'm gonna put it down below on the video while I edit it. I'm gonna flash the number so you can see the number, okay? Because um going on a tangent about the suicide, like life is well, I was speaking to my cousin the other day, my other cousin, and we were talking, and it was like feelings are temporary, in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion. Like you, it might hurt you right now, and like really affect you. Trust me, I've been there. Not like suicidal thoughts, but I've been depressed, and you feel like your world is ending, and like you feel like shit, and but you got to think about it and think about this is a temporary state of your life right now. It will get better. Trust me, it will get better. If you have family around you, friends, look for them. Tell them what you're going through. I'm sure they will listen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, please contact the hotline, the lifeline, the suicide prevention hotline if you are having those thoughts. Because your life is precious. We love you, and all of us love you, and we don't want to lose uh another another soul to suicide, you know?
Right.
So that's that. We love you. Um so now let's get back into something that's a little more happy. Let's get
Yeah. So yeah, back to
back to the
Eminem and
M album.
yeah, with the M album, I just feel like it's more. It was more gravitating to the audience, so an audience to bring them back in, and Eminem was just giving them like, hey, I'm still the rhymer that I can be. Um, I'm just gonna say it a different way.
Yeah.
And now everybody listens to side A, and of course everybody has their opinion. Everybody thinks, oh, he's washed up.
Yeah.
This is garbage, and you know this and that. And then by the end of 2020, he comes out with side B, and he's like, listen, I'm still Eminem, and side B to me is one of my favorites. One of my favorite, probably the probably the track list was probably my favorite track list of any albums or anything that came out in 2020
Wow.
because I feel like from the first song to the last song, every song that was on side B, he
Yeah.
just destroyed it, and
Yeah.
he's making people remember who he is and what he's capable of, and that's what people are forgetting, what he's capable of.
Yep.
He
Yep.
could literally destroy anybody lyrically today to this day. Anybody from you could put anybody from the 90s till 2021, and he might. Jay-Z is my favorite rapper of all time, and he might legit just destroy him.
Yeah,
And
when it comes to
it's great.
when it comes to like lyrical, and I'm talking about like lyrical as in wordplay, and just like I don't think anybody touches him with wordplay. Now with storytelling, people can't touch him with storytelling. He's very
Oh,
good at storytelling as well, but there are a lot of great rappers that are good storytellers, especially
nah,
even today too. You got Nas. I mean, Nas is to me hands down the one of the best storytellers in rap. Period. Like he sells like you close your eyes and listen to his music and you see what the hell's going on. Like and the message it's just one of the best albums ever. Oh, no, not the message. What was it was written,
it
right?
was written. It
It
was
was
written.
written is my favorite Nas album, top 10 favorite rap albums of all time. Like Nas is a great storyteller, but M could tell a great story too, especially when it comes to him personally. Like when it comes to about talking about his mom or like that song. Is it Mockingbird? Mockingbird is another great one. Yeah, so M's Mockingbird, like that's I love that song. That's another song that tells a good story. Also, When I'm Gone is another one that tells a good story. I think anything that it touches on him and Haley and like stuff with like his past relationships, when he gets into
Yeah.
that bag, he's so good at storytelling then. Like he's really good, but he's not one of the best when it comes to that. But when it comes to wordplay, I don't nobody touches him in my opinion. That boy can make anything freaking rhyme, and like he makes anything rhyme. I forgot there was a video of him explaining how he makes things rhyme that shouldn't rhyme, and he just changes like a syllable, or he
Yeah,
stretches
I
some
seen that
shit
video.
out, and I'm like, yo, that's genius, bro. That
Like
is
he was like how nobody could rhyme orange, and he was like syringe or syringe and orange and
yeah,
stuff
something
like
like
that.
that.
And
It's
I was like,
crazy.
oh, this clever, man.
Yeah, like that's one thing I do like of him. But like we gotta give some love to more albums. I put more albums that I liked from this year that I really did enjoy. Um, one album that it might rival M's in my opinion is one of them is definitely Burden of Proof by Benny the Butcher. Benny the Butcher right now is so hot right now.
Let's give it up
Like
to Griselda. Let's
yo,
give it up to Griselda.
Griselda in general is just killing it, bro. From they repping Buffalo. Well, I think Benny's repping Buffalo, or they all rep
I think they
Buffalo.
all from Buffalo. Yeah.
They repping Buffalo, man. Like we don't talk about Buffalo. Nobody thinks about Buffalo, you know. But Buffalo's part of New York, you know. And Benny's one of the best out right now. Like he's just so good, so good. And that album from top to bottom, there's not one bad song on there. Like in my opinion, not one bad song. And that song with Rick Ross, I think is Legend. I think if I'm not mistaken, I want to say is Legend is so good. And he's another one of these guys that's he's old already, but he's an older guy, but he just like they just popped off. That goes to show you that in hip hop, you're not too old.
You're not too
You're
old.
not too old. I think even when DMX came out, he was what? He was older. He wasn't that young.
I don't remember
From what
what
I'm from what I remember, I could be totally wrong. Benny the Butcher is riding on a high right now. Hold up.
Let's just look at 50 Cent.
Oh, 50 Cent. Yeah.
50 Cent, when he came out, I think he was already in his 30s.
I
We'll
think
get
so,
Rich or
right?
Die Trying.
How old is 50 now? 50 is like probably like 50.
He's almost 50.
He's almost 50. Yeah, so yeah, he was already like 30 something, maybe maybe high in his late 20s, maybe like 20, 28, 29 maybe. But he
Yeah,
could have
because
been
20
30
years
almost.
ago was 20 years ago was already what, 2000? So
Yeah.
I would say maybe he was already like he came out what Get Rich or Die Trying came out with 03. So I
Yeah.
guess he was already, I would say like 30, 30, 32.
Yeah. Let me
No,
check.
I'm
Checking my
yeah.
lucky
No,
source
no,
right
no.
now. I'm checking
No,
Google.
I'm lying. I'm lying. I think it was maybe no late
Oh
late
no,
20s, early 30s.
he's 45 right now.
He's 45.
45 right now. So you
So
take
he was
away 20 years.
25.
So he was young. He was pretty young.
He was still young. Okay, so
Still
that's a
young. All
wrong
right.
judgment.
So
Never mind, folks.
I backtrack on that. Sorry. But it's never too late to be a rapper if you're good. You know? It's never sometimes you gotta give it up. But you know,
Sometimes, honestly, it all depends on who the artist is. Sometimes it does take
time to
the
mold.
artist to mold and to become mature enough to make a good song, because you might not make you might be lyrically at the peak of your point when you're late teens, early 20s, but
Yeah.
you might not have that mentality and stuff to be able to put out a good song or a good album.
That's the thing
And
that listen, that's the thing that plugs a lot of great rappers. Like rappers. Because there's a lot of good rappers out there that could spit But when it comes to making hit records, they can't do it, and that sucks because, and I don't know if it's because just like the mainstream just then not ready for that type of rap music. Like that rap music is probably gone like now, but like it's, you don't see that happening a lot. Like there's a like they're not mainstream is what I'm saying. Like when we think about great hip hop artists, like of course we think about like freaking Biggie, Tupac. Those guys are mainstream and everything like that. Jay-Z, Nas. But like you really forget about these guys that are lower, like the
Big
Locks,
L, Big
Big
L,
L. Like the Locks, like Jada Kiss and Styles P are like some of the best rappers we've ever had, but they don't get like that recognition, that mainstream recognition.
Fabulous.
Fabulous does get a little bit more recognition than like than most of these like Jada Kiss and stuff like that. But I think it's still like it's you have to have that mainstream hit. You have to have those radio hits, because if you don't have that, you're not gonna be mainstream, and it's gonna be harder for you to appeal to a wider audience. A wider
Of course.
audience, not white,
Yeah.
a wider.
Not white.
Don't get my words confused, right? A wider
Eminem.
audience, you know. Um. So what's in so we got that Benny the Butcher. You got
Pop Smoke.
Oh yeah, Pop Smoke. That album, that's a great album, and
Let's give it
uh,
up to Pop Smoke.
pe-
Rest in peace.
rest in peace. That's another soldier we lost this year. Pop Smoke, like it's a shame that he couldn't see what like how his album impacted everybody, but like that's such a to say he's from New York too is like another great soldier we lost from New York, man, and it just sucks. Young guy, you could tell he was just getting into his like peak right now. Like
He already had his feet in the water.
yeah, he already had
He
his
had
feet
the
in the
feet in the
water. 50
water.
Cent was went like people were already looking out for him. He had a distinct sound that nobody had. Now some people are trying to copy it, but nobody had that sound before. And it was unique, and he put out fire. Like he blew up that the New York grime scene. He blew that up. Was it group
Mhm.
New York? Is it grime? I always forget if it's grime or I think it's grime. Yeah, the New York grime scene, like the that beat, like I can't do that beat, but but yeah, like he blew that sound up. Him, Fabio, which I don't like Fabio as much as I do like Pop Smoke. Fabio's okay to me. He's not as good as Pop,
And
but
now we got a lot of artists that got inspired by Pop Smoke too.
yep,
We got
yep.
now this guy up and coming, CJ.
Oh, see, yo, I mean, he has one song out, and that song is already like probably the best song. That's another song. If the streets were open, oh my god, in the club, bro. Whoopty, bitch, on my side is a movie. Gang, yo.
Whooped it. Bitch, I'm outside of some movie.
I tell you, we be going crazy here, bro. We would have been going crazy.
Give it up
But
for Puerto Ricans one more
yo,
time.
and it was only to today when you told me he was Puerto Rican. I was like, wait, what? I
Yeah,
didn't
you didn't
even.
know he was
I did
Puerto Rican,
not know
bro?
he was Puerto. I didn't look into it. I knew he was Hispanic. I was like, I don't know if he's Dominican or Puerto Rican,
Nah,
but he
man, you
looked
could
like
you
it.
could tell he's Puerto Rican by the hair. His straight flat hair
Yeah,
like Anuel.
yeah, could be,
That's
could
that's just
be,
Puerto
could be.
Rican.
Yeah, but yeah, he had one of the best songs of the year with Whoopty, and he looked like he's gonna put out another song that might freaking pop too. That he just released on Instagram. So
And I just seen on Instagram the other day he was on Instagram Live with Fat Joe.
yeah, and also I don't know if you peeped, and I could be wrong, but when I looked up his name on Apple Music, I saw he had a song with Busta Rhymes and MOP on Busta Rhymes album.
Really?
Yeah, it said it's Busta Rhymes, and I was hearing it, and it sounds like him. And I was like, I don't know if it's him because sometimes they be having like he don't have a lot of credits to him, so I don't know if it's him exactly. But I was listening to that, I was like, holy shit, though. I was like, he has a song with Busta already. Like the only
I
songs he
mean,
has on Apple Music is Whoopty and the song with him and Busta and MOP.
I have to go check that out. And
Yeah,
Speaking of Buster, what an album Extinction Level Event 2 is.
that's that's an album that came out of left field for me. I did not expect to enjoy that album because like I like Busta Rhymes, but I'm like I haven't heard nothing good from Busta Rhymes in a long time, like really good. And I listened to that and I was like, holy shit! Did the freaking Busta Rhymes come back out of nowhere with like bangers at the bangers? I was so surprised, man, and it was a good surprise because I like Busta. I always like Busta, man. Growing up, Busta was one of my favorite artists. With freaking like you had Pastor Kavase, you had Break Your Neck, you had Woo Ha, you had why am I blanking out on my favorite song?
Put your hands where my eye can see.
Oh, put your hands where my eyes can see. Yo, that's another one. That's a classic.
Touch
Uh,
it.
that's another great album this year. Another one that I'm gonna shout you out, bro. My boy HD been dope. Broken Dreams this year.
Let's give it up for
I'm
HD.
sorry.
Let's give it up for
Listen,
HD.
and I'm not saying that just because he's my boy. Like, period. I'm not saying that because just because he's my boy. I've seen this guy. We used to go to studio. We used to go to the same high school together. So they used to have us. They made a studio club, which is like where we got together, made music and everything. I didn't know nothing about clubs. Wasn't gonna join no club. My friend went to go join the club, so I was like, I joined it too. So that's why I met him. And ever since then, I saw the talent. I was like, yo, this dude is going to be nice. And every project that he's released, he's only got better and better and better and better. The quality gets better, the videos get better. Now look at his video, I'm like, yo, like I text him sometimes, like, yo, bro, like this shit is like on another level now. Like like, well, where's the money? I'm like, bro, I'm like, yo, this is dope, man. Like he got on Madden, on the Madden soundtrack. He got on the
Nice.
what was
The NBA
the
2K
UFC.
soundtrack.
He got the UFC
UFC.
UFC thing. He's been on like videos from like the Lakers and Staples Center, and I'm like, yo, bro, this is you going in the right step, bro. You getting bigger and better. And what thing he
I
always
believe
told me,
I believe one of his songs were in a commercial too.
yeah, one of his songs was in a commercial as well,
Yeah.
and his song was playing on Sports Center the other day. I was like, oh shit, that's HD. I was like, that's my boy Darius, and and um, what I was gonna say, uh, like this album. I mean, he still doesn't call it an album yet. Like he is a mixtape, but it's so good that it feels like an album. You know, from top to bottom is definitely probably one of the most best albums of the year, and that's I don't care what anybody says. I firmly believe that. Um, like he's just matured in his music. Like I've listened to him from the beginning, and it gets better and better every time. And I always put him on. Like I told you, Kels, about him in like a few years ago, and you seen the growth, right? Like
Yeah, I hear. Listen, with him, I feel like when I first heard what the from the first EP that you made me hear,
yeah,
I forgot the name of it. I think it was something about Journey. He
peace
had
be the
the
journey.
yes, that one.
Yeah,
So he had the with the dog in the cover.
yeah. He
so
uh
so from that EP into the one that he dropped recently, I feel like he's grown so much, and the beats are better.
yeah.
The wordplay is better. The lyrics are better. It's
Even the
more.
even the cadence, I feel like he's even making like he's perfecting his cadence as well, because that's another big
Mhm.
thing when it comes to hip-hop for me. If you don't have a good cadence, I can't listen to you. I can't. And listen, I don't care what anybody says. Playboy Cardi is trash. Come at me in the comments. Playboy Cardi is trash, and he will always be trash. He sounds like a little freaking chipmunk. Nobody want to hear that shit. Like, get out of here.
I don't even.
I
I
don't
haven't
know.
heard that one Playboy Cardi song.
No, I've listened to listen. I listen to Playboy Cardi as just like in the background noise and to bump to. But you when you really listen to that shit, bro, what is he saying? He's not saying nothing. He sounds like a chipmunk. Like seriously. He sounds like a little bitch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I can't get into that. I can't get into his music. But that's why I think cadence is very important, in my opinion. You know? And and HD got like some
and
of the
and
best.
delivery.
His delivery is just my god. And he's got a great team. The thing about it too is always good when you have a good team around you. And he has a great team. He has a great team. Like his cousin Hollywood Jew too. He's he's a very good director too. And Erickson, he's like the photographer and he does the videos too. And he's another beast, you know. So when you have a good team around you that want to strive and 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 try to do better and is never satisfied, you're gonna find the right thing, you know.
Yeah.
Um, that's a shout out to you, HD.
Give
Shout
it
out
up
to
for
you.
HD one more time, man.
Clap
Give
for
it
him
up
one
for
more
HD
time.
one more time, man.
Like I
He's
couldn't
gonna
make a
be
top 10
he's
list
gonna
this year because it was hard for 2020.
he's gonna be a problem.
He's gonna be a problem. I'm telling you, the kid is my like. It's gonna be. I'm telling you right now, the people ain't ready for it. You're not ready for it, and you heard it here first. You heard it here first. He's gonna be a problem, and people are gonna have to deal with him. I'm telling you.
And the thing is about today's generation and today's age, no one appreciates lyrics anymore.
That's the problem.
Lyrics aren't appreciated as they once was. So for his type of music is the type of music that I like. This is the
Yeah.
type of music that I want to listen to. I don't
Yeah.
want to listen to whatever's out now. You know,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not
And that
that's not what I gravitate towards anymore.
yeah.
You know,
And
never
speaking
did.
about that, that's one of the many things that me and him kind of like we argue over a little bit because you know I feel like sometimes he's very like not receptive to new type of music, you know. Like I feel like
Listen, people, I'm old school, man.
yeah, he's old school, man. Like you like play him something for 2004 and he's happy. That like straight old school G Unit,
Play
like
some
freaking
Dipset. Play
and
some Dipset. I'll be all
some
right.
Dipset and he good. And he good. Play some Lloyd Banks, his favorite artist. Play some Lloyd Banks and you Gucci. But like I always get with him because I always try to tell him, yo, like try to open your mind to certain things because like as much as like I know a lot of people shit on like certain of the new rappers, but I do like a lot of the new rappers. Like not a lot. I'm bugging. Not a lot. But I do like artists like Juice World, may he rest in peace. Because not only like he made songs that were very like had the punk rock ish edge to it, like that's where I feel like rap is heading right now. That's is very punk rockish a little bit to me. But don't get it twisted. Juice World could spit, and if you heard his freestyles, you know he could spit. And I just always respected Juice WRLD. I always liked his music. I liked his cadence too. That's another thing. A lot of times, like if the cadence is good, I might forgive certain shit because you know, like that's just the sound of it sounds good, you know. And unless you're saying really stupid shit, but um, like you had guys like XS Tentacion was there's certain songs that he has that are really impactful that I liked from him. Not his whole catalog, but that's another guy we lost too young. You know, we've been losing a lot of young
Oh my
artists,
God.
and that's what's
Yeah.
sad because we want to see what these guys do because they may change the
That's
game.
the
Like
future. They have a
they're the
future.
future. They're gonna change the game. You know, and to see him go so quick, you know, it sucks. But yeah. What's let's see. What's another good album? So we have
Oh,
Eminem's
we
music.
gotta shout out another one from Griselda, man. Conway the Machine. Let's give it up
You
for
talk about
Conway the
that. I haven't.
Machine,
I don't
man.
think I've heard this album yet. You talk about it.
Man,
What's the album called?
from a king to a god.
Okay.
Listen, this album, man. Like I said, I'm an old school guy. I love the lyrics. I
Yeah.
love the I love the heartbeat. I love the lyrics on top of it with the
with the good hook and everything. And this album is just from
Very
point A to
reminiscent of
point
that.
B is from point A to point B is really good.
Okay, yeah,
He
I gotta
has
check that out. I gotta check that because I
yeah,
haven't
he
checked that one
has
out. I think I've checked
he
out a
has
couple of
songs
songs from that album, but I don't remember too much.
he has songs with the classic OG Method Man,
Oh
and he
yeah,
has songs with Lloyd Banks,
oof,
and
oof.
it's
I gotta
just
listen to it. Now
it's a
another
good
okay,
album.
this is another thing that I'm gonna link. I'm gonna lump them together. Two albums that I'm gonna lump together. Joyner Lucas, ADHD, and Evolution. I think Joyner Lucas is. I don't know why. I feel like he's so slept on. I don't know what is it unless you feel
I
differently.
haven't heard Evolution.
And that's the thing. I've put it off because I totally forgot it came out. It came out this year. I totally forgot, and I was looking through because sometimes when I go through my Apple Music, I just download the album, and I forget sometimes half of the music that I download, and then I forget to go back to it, and I didn't go back to it, and I was looking through like albums of 2020 when we were going to talk about this, and I found the album, and I listened to it from top to bottom, and I was like, bro, this is a good ass album. This is definitely for me top 10 material. Like Evolution. ADHD, the only reason why I won't put ADHD up there is because he released a lot of those songs as singles. And he did it on purpose because that was his whole style. And a lot of those songs came out in 2019. So
Yeah,
so it kind of diminished it for me a little bit. But Evolution, bro, is so good from top to bottom. If you haven't heard it, please listen to it. Please listen to it. It's really good. And
I'm gonna actually I'm gonna actually listen to it.
and another good album, which another guy that I feel like is slept on, Amine. Have you heard of Amine? I told you about him.
I've never heard of him until you told me about him.
Limbo. I didn't know he. That's the thing about 2020. Like there was so much music, but you also forgot about a lot of music that dropped because he dropped that album and then he dropped the deluxe version. I listened to the deluxe edition, and from top to bottom is another very good album. Is another like he has some songs. Let me pull it up. He has some really good songs on there. That he has a song I think is it called Mama if I'm not mistaken, and it's just it's very like when it comes to storytelling that you can hear the storytelling. Like it's so good, and he's another a younger artist that I feel doesn't get enough shine. Let me see. Limbo Deluxe, like songs like Mrs. Clean. He got this song. Has this song called Roots with JID, which is another young dude that's under JID is under
From J.
Dreamville.
Cole,
Oh
The
my,
Dreamville.
JID is another beast, man. Another guy that I love. Um, so he has that song. He has a song with Summer Walker that's really good, really good. And I think my favorite song, like back to back, is called Mama, and then the other one is called Becky. Like some of my favorite tracks of this year, like and of last year, so good. And to top it off, we're gonna because we're running out of little time. We could go for a little bit longer, but we don't want to make this too long of a podcast, because we want to talk about more things in the future. But I do want to leave off
Of
what
course,
I think is the biggest snub in Grammys for a long time is the Weeknd's freaking After
The
Hours
Weeknd.
album. What was that? How does that happen? How listen,
I don't know. I don't know.
Blinding Lights was literally one of the most
Was
freaking
everywhere.
played songs I've ever heard in this year. And Heartless and
I It was everywhere. It
it
was
was
it
everywhere.
was in sports.
Bro, like listening, every 5 minutes on the radio it was played. Every time I went into the car, Blinding Lights was playing. Like, and how the hell he gets no nominations? He doesn't even get Record of the Year or Song of the Year. He doesn't get Album of the Year, Artist of nothing. it's like, what did he do to the Grammy?
Is he
To
being blacklisted?
That's what I feel like, because and then I looked at the rest of the nominees, and I'm like, okay, definitely some people don't belong here. I'm sorry, some people do not belong on here. And I'm gonna say it right here. I got hot takes. Listen, I got hot takes, and I ain't scared to say it. And the fan bases could come after me, but Beyonce, the Black is King, that doesn't deserve to be up on it. Period. Period. It
It
does
was
not
just
belong up there.
I listen. I like Beyonce music, but it was just a soundtrack of Lion King, which
That's what I'm saying, and it was it it just didn't.
it didn't get played. I haven't heard not one song on the radio
Yeah,
from
it
that
didn't get played
soundtrack
at
at all.
all. And it's just like, if you're gonna do that, like, you have to the Grammys have to change that, because if if a song is getting played constantly and it doesn't get not one nomination, that's wrong. That's wrong. Now, if it got Song of the Year, Record of the Year, and he didn't get nominated for anything else, I would have been okay. That's fine. Like, I still would have been like shocked, but I would have been like, okay, at least he got some nominations. But the fact that he didn't get Album of the Year, which is and not only that, it was one of the most critically acclaimed albums of the year. I didn't really
Hmm.
hear anybody talking bad about that album. So it just boggles my mind that it didn't get nominated, you know? Um, but
Weekend really did get snubbed. I feel like Blinding Lights was everywhere. Um, it was just that song. It was not my favorite song from that
yeah,
album, that Weekend album, but it was everywhere.
yeah, yeah,
It was everywhere, and I feel like the Weekend. A lot of people like the Weekend, like a lot of underground people like Weekend, but a lot of mainstream, they don't give the Weekend recognition.
yeah. I don't get that. Like, another, I think my favorite song of the album is "In Your
And he's been
Eyes,"
out for a long time.
and he's been out for a long time. Like,
Yeah.
his he's been out before 2012, but that was when the trilogy of the House of Balloons, they made it like into one album. But he was
I
killing
think
it,
he was
man.
out from like 2010 or 2011.
Yeah, it had to be
Yeah.
something like that. Like, I would say even like 2009, 2010, around there. Like, very, very. He was underground, very underground. I wasn't. It wasn't until he had that song with Drake where I was like, oh shit, who's this dude? Like, I liked him from the get. But yeah, so listen, everyone, this is what you can expect from the Big Mo podcast. We're gonna keep it real. We're gonna talk from the chest. We're gonna say it with our chest. We're not gonna care what anybody thinks. You know, it's our opinion. You don't have to think the same thing as we do. You know, you can have the different opinions. We're fine with that. But this is the same
If you
approach.
don't like it, pa fuera.
If you don't like it, afuera. But yeah, so this is what you can expect when it comes to movies. Look, we will be talking about movies. We'll be talking about TV. We'll be talking about gaming. Because one thing about 2020, games really helped us out in 2020, at least for me personally. Like, if it wasn't for gaming, I don't know. Because that, between like Last of Us and all that stuff, we'll get into that. But we'll talk about gaming, TV, sports. Once baseball starts picking up, we'll definitely be talking about baseball. Um, but yeah, this is what you can expect from the Big Ball Podcast. You know, it's been a hell of a first episode. You know, um, it's good to have my boy Kels
Very
with me.
good. It's been very good.
Very fun. It felt natural. I'm not gonna lie, it felt
So
natural,
natural.
and I can't wait. I can't wait to the next episode. So, Kels, where can they find you at? Like, social media. What do you got?
Social media, YouTube, Prophecy is Kels.
Prophecy is Kels. I'll put it
That's
down in the
the
description below.
Instagram. That's the at Instagram, YouTube.
Yeah, and on for me, you can follow me anywhere on Twitter, Instagram, at BigMo104, and you can please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, because we're really trying to like work hard to get this channel off and running. We're gonna give you good content. You know, we might just not not only do podcasts, we might do in the future like some probably reaction videos if we're together, because it's hard with COVID and everything. But like, say a new video comes out for our favorite artist or a new album comes out, we might give it to you. We might get in a car and do a review of the album and talk about each of the songs and give you our critiques and stuff. So like, share, subscribe, share, like, please share this around to everybody. I love you all. Stay safe out there. Wear your mask. Don't be one of
Wear
these
your mask.
Trumplicans. But no, in all seriousness,
Don't get the Trump started.
I don't want the Trump fan supporters on here. Please no. But yeah, just stay safe out there, everyone. Be kind to each other. We all love you, and peace out.